Welcome everyone to another episode of Hazard Time Gets Lost.
It's another
Uh,
one. What is this? 5?
yeah, this is five.
Holy
Uh,
shit. That's almost as
White,
many as that other podcast.
sure. This is White Rabbit, episode five. I'm of course your host Liam. I'm joined by Dimitri again. Uh,
Hit me.
but yeah, we're talking about White Rabbit, which is Jack's flashback episode.
Yeah.
So, what did you
Kind
think
of
of this
kind of
episode?
underwhelming.
The flashbacks or the episode?
The episode.
Really?
Yeah. The
I
flashbacks were
don't
too.
I mean, I guess I can see with the flashbacks. It's just kind of they're just kind of necessary, I suppose. You
It,
know,
yeah.
you want to establish Jack, and you're getting out of the way. I guess that's kind of like a thing in season one, is establishing why these characters were on the plane in the first place. And sometimes you get that right away, sometimes you don't. Like Kate and Locke, we got that right away.
Right.
Kate was on the plane, she was in custody going back. Locke was, going back to his shit job and crap boss.
Ugh. Nobody
You
wants to
know,
go back to Randy.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
and
um, I do. I felt like this episode kind of progressed the plot a little more, like progressed the story of the island, versus like the other flashback episodes we are getting were just to, serve the characters. But this is like, all right, Jack's becoming leader. Now we're gonna start to get shit done.
what I've said about this episode is that this episode kind of feels like the end of Act One or something.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you can, like this beginning phase is over. I think like finding water was kind of their final stage. Like they've all kind of accepted that they might be here a week or two, and now they're in a position like, okay, we got food coming, we got water coming, we can make it a week or two if we have to be here for a little bit. Jack's finally somewhat embraced being the leader.
it's yeah. I like the start of the episode where the flashback is him getting bullied and that one kid's getting punched.
Like you like seeing kids get punched.
Yeah, it was good. No, it's because like it was so video game esque. Like this kid's just like in a constant animation of punching him until Jack gets up and does something. Like this is gonna keep happening until you decide to move because it's not
Press
like
X.
it's not like really hurting the kid. Like it's just happening to him. So he's like it's like, all right, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'll be right back. And then you come back, and he's like,
Like, come on, just press X already. Press X. Press X to get up.
um, but yeah,
But yeah,
so yeah, I
that
would agree with it. It does. It feels like it's like signifying this is the end of our little intro.
yeah. Like if this was a movie, like these first five episodes could be like trimmed into a movie, and like that could be,
Fan edit? Anybody?
yeah, maybe there's someone working on something like that right now. Who knows?
Is there? Should we know?
I some people might know.
Oh, so is that legitimately a thing, or
I don't know. You tell me.
it's definitely not, but not on nothing I know.
Okay. I'm not sure you know what I'm getting at.
I
Maybe
don't.
I'm not putting it down
I mean, are you
properly.
working on a movie?
Perhaps.
Okay.
But this is good because this episode introduces us to someone who will become one of the most important minor characters on the show. Someone
Jack's
who doesn't
dad.
appear. Yeah, this guy doesn't appear a lot, but like every time he shows up, it's extremely significant.
It's really creepy, man. I don't know what it is, but it really gets to me. Like this suit, like the Jack's dad just in a suit on the beach, like far away. Like, ooh, oh, there it is again. I think it's because it's so G-Man esque.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know the G-Man's there, but you also know you're not gonna catch him.
You know, I almost wonder if it was a direct reference to G-Man.
I doubt it. I know
Well,
it's 2004.
here's the thing. Uh, in an episode later on in season one, like towards the end of season one, there's an episode. It's a Saeed flashback, and characters are playing Half Life.
I mean, it was super popular at that time.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah, I guess I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, probably not, but there is a chance because like we know why he's wearing the suit because
Wait,
he was
so
supposed to be he was supposed to be buried in that suit.
Half-Life 2 came out the same year as Lost?
Yeah.
Whoa, good year. And a lot of other things.
Yeah. A lot. 2004 was a really good year for movies and TV shows and video games.
Oh, man. It was a freaking baller year. San Andreas, Halo
Was
2, Doom 3, Half-Life 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Far Cry, Need for Speed Underground. Jesus.
Spider-Man 2. I
Oh my
remember
god. Fable, the first Fable came out?
didn't wasn't Chaos Theory 2004?
It sounds like it's maybe.
Let's see some of the 2004. And you had Spider-Man 2, you had uh Dream Warrior came out in 2004.
No shit, Dream Warrior?
Yeah,
Why did that come up?
because I'm looking at movies that came out in 2004 and Dream Warriors here.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a whole episode on Dream Warrior.
The Village. We'll do a Lost episode
Yeah, on
about Dream
Dream
Warrior.
Warrior. It's one of my favorite movies.
The Punisher. Thomas Jane Punisher.
It's a good movie.
Primer came out in 2004.
Wow.
Dawn of the Dead. National
Baldur's
Treasure.
Gate, Dark Alliance
Shaun
2,
of the Dead. I,
Shaun of the
Robot.
Dead.
Saw.
Yeah, who cares about Lost? Let's just go all the way through 2004. Chaos Theory was 2005. That's what I was
You know what
thinking.
else? You know what else came out in 2004?
Hmm.
Lost. A movie named Lost came out in 2004. It was 90 minutes, directed by Darren Lemke. I don't think anyone's actually seen it.
Yeah,
Because
I've seen Lost 2004.
the entirety of the letterbox for Lost the movie
Just gets
2004.
redirected to Lost.
Yeah, it's just people saying, "Well, Lost didn't have a letterbox, so I'm going to use this movie to talk about how much I love the show." Like no one's actually seen the movie; they're just using it to talk about the show, which I love.
The greatest movie no one's ever seen.
Alien versus Predator was 2004.
So they just hijacked this movie's IMDb.
Oh, another one of your favorites, Day After Tomorrow was 2004.
Well, never mind. I don't want to talk about 2004 anymore.
Knew that would transition.
All right. So anyway, let's continue talking about the episode, White Rabbit.
But see, the thing that I really this opening flashback is really good, especially the Christian stuff, because I think a lot of people don't look at Christian too closely and just kind of write him off as a bad father. But like that speech that he was giving Jack about like
Well, I mean, I was kind of just. He was just kind of like, okay, this is guy was trying to do his best,
yeah. See,
being the person he is.
yeah, because
He's basically like,
Jack,
hey, don't be like me, Jack.
yeah, see, Christian is given this speech, and Jack, being the young boy, is like he's not interpreting it. He's not receiving it the way he's supposed to receive it. He's saying, don't make these big decisions. Don't try and be the hero. And he goes, because when you fail, and you will fail, you don't have you don't have what it takes. Now, what he's saying is, and you will fail. He's not. Jack is taking that as like,
You're gonna.
I'm not going to be able to succeed.
Yeah, I can't do it. But his dad's being like, you're gonna fail because everybody fails.
Yeah,
Eventually, it
failure.
happens.
A failure is going to happen. It's an inevitable. Old Jack's dad is really saying is like, you kind of don't have what it takes to deal with failure too well, which is something we see throughout the show. Jack doesn't deal with failure. I mean, every time something happens, he just beats himself up over it for the next two episodes. And we see that in this episode. Some dumb chick drowns swimming out in the ocean, and he mopes about it the whole episode.
Yeah, why didn't he save her? Hmm. Why didn't he do that? He saved Boone instead.
And Boone was closer.
You know how difficult that would be, like, cause the ocean ain't no
Yeah,
pushover. Like that current's pretty tough, even at that area right there and close to the tide. Like, how about
Jack.
nobody else? Like, certainly out of 46 people, 44 or 45 people, I guess like 44 people, uh, another one of them would have been like, oh, maybe I can go try to swim out there too.
Yeah, but I mean, Jack chose to save the main character, so it's understandable. This is the first and last we ever heard of this character. Do you even remember her name?
Susan.
Joanna.
Damn. Are you sure? How do you know it was Joanna?
Oh please.
No,
You know who you talk.
nobody truly knows.
Joanna Miller. You know who you're talking to. Okay, episode 1. Kate is talking to Charlie. This is my favorite bit of trivia that I like to test Lost fans on, because no one's gonna know the answer to this. Kate is talking. Kate and Charlie are talking. Kate's going. I'm like, oh, my friend. She's a big drive shaft guy. She loves you. What's the name of that friend? She names that friend. No one remembers that name but me.
Well, what's her name?
Beth.
Beth. No, actually, well, yeah. That's a good bit of trivia.
No one remembers that name but me.
So how many times have you seen an episode, like, to the max? Like, what's the highest number that you've seen?
See, I think we started this conversation and we didn't finish it.
Well, I
Um,
started. I think. No, I asked you how many times you've watched Lost, the show, all the way through, and then we went through why you started it. But I haven't asked how many times have you seen an episode.
oh,
Like,
well,
what's
okay.
the highest number that you've gotten to for one episode?
Ooh, that's tough. So, like, baseline, we're looking at 4. Like, that's bare minimum, because I saw it once. I saw it on DVD. I saw it with my mom. I watched it backwards.
Okay, so you've seen every episode at least 4 times.
Yes, and
I would have expected higher.
that's every episode at least first time. Now, season 1 is probably going to be a lot higher than other seasons, because uh, I've had a couple false starts on rewatching.
All
Like,
starts. How come you didn't make it through? It's
well,
not like you just
one
started and then just didn't feel it.
one thing led to another, and I just didn't continue. Like, I was going to do a black and white rewatch, where I was going to watch the entire show in black and white.
That's
Because, like, I put the
pointless.
because I put I figured out if you put the disc in the Wii, and like unplugged a certain, because like the Wii had the 6 prongs that went like they had like a blue and a green
Yeah,
as well.
like component cables.
Yeah, and so like if you unplugged certain ones, it turned black and white. And so I watched like a couple episodes like that. I was like, nah, I got other things I can
Or
do.
you could just every TV has the option to, decrease all the colors.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that, and I don't want to mess with colors on TV.
Yeah,
It's a
man.
perfect balance.
Start messing with colors and then everything's not the same anymore.
And then also you gotta count rewatching specifically for podcasting. See, like when I was on the Lost with Friends podcast with Paul, uh, I didn't watch every episode for that. If I was going to be on an episode, I would just watch that specific episode. I wasn't like watching along, so to speak.
Well, ballpark number, like what episode stands out in your mind as you've seen the most? And then, you know,
Probably the very last episode,
how
because
many
it's just like
times you're looking at?
I would bet around 10. Could be less, could
That's
be more.
it? 10? Oh, man.
I've seen a lot of stuff though, man. Like I've watched a lot of TV. I just finished. Well, I didn't just finish because I gave up on it. But I just gave up on a Supernatural rewatch. Made it to about season 12, which I'm not surprised because anything after season 11 of
Season one.
Supernatural
When do you watch all this TV?
my free time, which I have, like before I go to sleep, when I should be sleeping, I'm watching TV and and then I take a 2 hour nap before work and wake up in the morning to go to work.
2 hour nap. You got to get some shut eye in.
That's what it turns out to be. Because if you're like, ah, fuck, it's 3 a.m. I should have gone to bed 4 hours ago.
Yeah, well, it
Oh.
never ceases to amaze me if I message you. I'm like, oh, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. He shouldn't be responding. Oh, nope, he did. It's
Uh,
like the other day, like I couldn't fall asleep, and I messaged you so. Oh yeah, the hat. Yeah, that. And then you're like, I was like, okay, well, didn't expect for that.
what did you message
Anyway,
me?
about the um the information for
Oh, the
the
channel when you were
yeah the
trying to.
channel. Yeah, I just want to point out it's on my list of notes. I'm still trying to get better at taking notes. So far, they're legible, but apparently, what stood out to me is Jin's haircut is pretty fucking fresh. Okay, he's got a
Oh,
crisp haircut, man.
he's visiting that island barber.
It's what it looks like because that shit's on point. Like his everything is so straight, and it looks like, which 6 days. I mean, yeah, I don't know. This looks like he got it like at least that day or the day before.
I mean, look, there's like 30 unnamed background extras who serve no real purpose. Maybe one of them is like a hair person, and that's keeping them looking fresh, keeping them clean
They brought
shaven.
they brought their tools.
Yeah, giving Jack that perfect amount of stubble to not get too.
Jack is Matthew Fox. That's right. That's his name, right? Matthew Fox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Kind of an interesting lead man.
yeah.
Like,
I think he's good. He gets a lot of hate.
well, in particular, it's like he doesn't really have, maybe I'm being too picky here, but it always stood out to me. He doesn't have like a leading character voice.
Hmm.
Like it's you would expect from like I don't know, you'd expect it to be like deeper and more like gravelly or like just more impactful, but he's got kind of like a high on the higher end and like uncertain voice type. So it's just interesting.
Hmm.
It's just different.
Yeah, I've never thought about that before. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's good.
He's really good. Yeah.
Jack gets a lot of hate, especially like going forward because Jack's gonna come into conflict with Locke a lot, and people like Locke a lot. So like No, man, just let Locke do whatever the hell he wants and run around free and blow shit up. Well, come on, man, what are you doing? Like, nah.
Which,
Jack's Jack is being reasonable in some of these scenarios with Locke and his shenanigans.
yeah, oh, I was about to say, it's kind of, I don't know, I want to say like foreshadowing, but it's kind of, the fact that Locke saves Jack in this moment when he's like falling off the cliff and like, oh, yep, let it be Locke. And then, it's like, it just kind of, it seems more important than we're led to believe at the time.
Yeah. It's and when they're talking, that's that's like a top 10 moment of the season for me when Locke and Jack are talking. You don't get that. Like, this is the first and last civil conversation these two characters are going to have.
This is
And it's,
before shit goes south.
yes. And it's just like, it's, it's like almost so nice to see where there's almost a moment where like Jack is like almost on Locke's side, because Locke is talking to him and Jack's kind of like taking it in. He's listening to Locke. He's
Yeah.
thinking about what Locke has to say. He's like, you can tell there's a part of him that like this guy might be
He's
onto
running
something.
on he's running on Liam hours of sleep.
Yeah,
He's like hallucinating. Yeah, well, maybe magic island special. It's like, well, let's stop for a second. Maybe it is. But yeah, it's a good moment. It's a kind of lulling him into the specialness, the metaphysical side of things.
yeah. And I like that moment where Jack's talking about his hallucination, and he's saying it's not real. And Locke's like, well, what if it is? What if it
Oh
is
yeah,
real?
it's like it's impossible. He's like, what did he says? He's like, well, what? It's impossible for. Let's imagine it's not, or something like that. The
Yeah.
way he words it is fun.
And then like, well, then we're all in a lot of trouble. Which is good.
Well, at that moment, oh man, what can Jack's dad do? Like, what kind of man is he? Is he gonna,
Ugh.
he's like, he's gonna start like, he's gonna like key me this island or something? And then you see like, oh, he's dead, and like, oh, okay, that makes sense now.
And we get some subplot this episode about Boone stealing the water because they
Yeah,
ran out of water.
yeah.
Whatever.
Again, well, and that's I mentioned it before, but like tiny little conflict that's apparently for a TV episode. We don't need it. If this was a movie, it wouldn't be in there. But
Yeah, because like you need something to resolve every
yeah,
episode. Every episode has to stand on its own in some way, shape, or form.
like Sawyer goes up to him. It's like, how's it feel to take my spot, huh? Most hated man on the island. Boone's like, yeah, it sucks. Uh, there's a good. There's a couple good Boone moments when after he saves him out of the water, and he's like, he says
He's like
something.
trying to pick a
He's
fight.
like, damn it, I was fine. He's like, I can handle myself. I run a business.
Like people call me boss. People
Like,
like,
I run a business. It's like, I'm just like
and then like
imagining like what's important to Boone, and like, ooh, to be in order to be a man. It's like I run a business. Damn it, I can handle myself.
and Jax sees the G-Man and just runs off, and Boone's like, "Hey,
He
get back
really
here!
does.
I'm talking to you."
He does. He just sees him. He just sprints to. But that's kind of an instrumental because almost at this point, you almost think like, I feel like Boone's a little impressionable, and he kind of looks up to Jack like immediately.
Yeah, I
And it's
could
like,
see that.
and it's like Boone, like he saves Boone instead. And he's like, "Damn it, that wasn't the right thing. Now I'm mad at you." Like, cause
Yeah.
you made a wrong
Well,
decision. It's like,
you gotta imagine Boone's taking the death of poor Joanna a little harshly
yeah.
as well. Because I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
he failed first. He failed, and then Jack failed. and everyone else failed for just watching the two of them go for it. Like, come on, Saeed, what are you doing?
Like, so
You can't swim, Saeed.
the music like kind of tones down for a second. It's like jump, like when he's trying to save Boone, and then he like brings him back to the star, or he brings him back to the shore, and then it like kicks back up like because like Charlie and Kate like they don't jump in the water after him and try to help, but like no, they kind of like rush to help Jack get Boone onto the shore, but like it kicks up so high as if they're really doing something spectacular.
Well, and it's also kind of like because Jack is definitely doing like, okay, I gotta go back out again now. So it's like, okay, let's kick it
But
back
it's
up.
just, this is funny. Like they're just standing there, and then they're like, oh yeah, let's kick into gear now. Let's help Jack get this guy out of the water.
Because like really, come on, Jack could just like you could just toss him on the beach and go back at it.
Um, there's also no. There was another moment. It's after Jack finds the water, which we're not even discussing like the big narrative beats of this episode, but
Yeah,
he finds
we will.
the little cave of water. I don't know, and then he's given like a leader speech to everybody, like motivated. Hey, if we don't band together, we're gonna die alone. And in the midst of people, there's like, I think like Sawyer's leaning against something, or it's just a weird angle. But I was really confused because it looked as if there was a man in the group of people who was like part metal. Who then like I just imagined that moment had like taken bits and pieces of the plane to like build an armor suit and like tie it together with like homemade twine.
Okay, I
So
didn't I
now,
didn't think about that, but
so now there's like this just running character in my mind of like plane armor man walking around the island like trying to take over. He's the one that stole the water because who's gonna beat him up? He's plane armor man.
well, I mean, plane armor man. That plane armor might. There's some scenarios where that might come in useful.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not capitalizing on that. But it's like angled weird, and I was like, is that guy like wearing a piece of metal? And I was like, what if somebody had constructed a suit of armor out of all the plane wreckage?
Okay, so we got a new character, Plane Metal Man.
Essentially, just like an Iron Man type deal. Like Saeed builds him his electronics in the suit. Like,
Because
the
apparently
one,
Saeed can just kind of do anything with
yeah,
electronics,
I know.
just limited by what he has. Like if he had a Radio Shack, he could just like
Yeah,
save everybody
yeah.
already.
Imagine Saeed's like building one of those like one-person helicopters out of the electronics. He's like, I can shuttle
Probably.
everybody off the island one at a time. But I'll need to triangulate our position so I can get the GPS working.
But it's Michael who builds the raft, though. That make sense.
Yeah.
Well, the raft blows up. Saeed would have built a good raft. Saeed's raft would have worked. He built plane metal armor guy's
Yeah.
suit.
I'm like, guy doesn't even want the armor, but like Saeed's building it for him. Like, I need a subject.
I've got nothing to do this episode. They're all fussing about the water, so I'm gonna build you a suit of armor. Okay.
But yeah.
Imagine like he got really scared by that boar attack a couple nights ago. It was
Well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, they
I
could
need to
have built
protect
like a shield, and then just like one-on-one those boars.
that would have been cool. Like a boar invasion. This is our territory.
Because I don't think we brought it up, but realistically, nobody's going toe to toe with boar with like a Bowie knife. Like those things,
Mhm. Unless you're John Locke,
unless you're John Locke, right?
recently paralyzed, recently unparalyzed 60-year-old man or whatever. Or he's got to be like early 50s at most, right?
He's whatever he is. He's so good. Like every line he delivers is just spot on.
This is the thing The thing that I never really grasped until later in watching the show is like how young people are supposed to be. Like Shannon's like 20 and Claire is like 18
Does it
and most
specifically say that? Or
uh yeah, like you get flashbacks that line up with certain days and like I mean it's all on like
Lostpedia?
yeah, cuz you get certain events that I guess I'm not trying to I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's always supposed to be younger, whatever it is.
Yeah, Jack. Does it have an age for Jack? It says his date of birth was December 3rd, 969. So he is
So
30,
35?
34, I believe. 37 minus 3 is 4. No, 37 minus 3 is 34. So Jack is 34 right now, which I guess he's old enough. He's almost as old as me. That's sad. Uh, he's old enough to be a spinal surgeon, which is what we find out Jack is. I don't. Did they fully address that before?
Is there an like restriction to be a spinal surgeon?
Well, I don't
Or
think so.
is
But
it just kind of like the schooling, like you would
yeah,
be about? Okay.
you're going to like regular college and then 4 years of medical college and then I
Going
don't know, probably extra shit.
to real college to learn real things.
Yeah,
Walt's got a good line in this episode.
he does.
Hey, hey, that pregnant lady fall down.
That's right. I remember that.
Walt comes up like, say, hey, that pregnant lady over there fall down. But that's exactly what he says. Hey, hey, that pregnant lady fall down. It's like so, they wrote that into the script. So
I forgot my Chromebook is a touchscreen. Look at that. What do you know? Anyway,
um all right, so anything else very
uh, well, I feel like we got to talk about like the actual main plot of the episode, which is Jack. He's chasing He's chasing the appearance of his father, and he stumbles upon the water, which is kind of like a thing. Although, did he even know that was a thing? Well, yeah, because Locke tells him. Locke's like, "Oh, by the way, we're running out of water while you're chasing ghosts
yeah.
out here."
While you're playing
Locke,
Half-Life out here, we're running out of water.
Locke doesn't care. Locke's chill about it.
Locke's gonna get his.
Locke drinks boar blood instead of water.
That well, and cool as a cucumber is Locke, and
Yeah,
it's like everything he's doing. Because
but
I mean, and I guess understandably so. Like he's the only one that's officially like, there's something going on here. Like this is different.
yeah.
So whatever I'm doing is fueled by what he thinks is like destiny. So
I think it's also a part of this is Jack is almost settling a little bit. And so this is kind of the episode where it comes back to him like oh shit, yeah, my father died.
yeah,
I've been so busy trying to keep all these idiots alive that I've postponed my processing of the fact that my father just died.
which is interesting because when we do get the flashback, like this is the most vital like important thing that he needs to get done in that moment in time, and then it just gone like from his mind.
Yeah. He's having that
Yell,
scene where
yelling
he's
at the
yelling
poor
at
stewardess lady.
the person who would be me. Like I would be that lady.
Well, here's a bit of lost trivia for you. What's her name?
I don't know. I don't think we find out her name.
It's Chrissy. Okay, it's Chrissy.
Is it? How do
It
you
is.
know?
Jack calls her by her name. So pop
Do you
that
know,
one into your trivia bank.
do you know how many episodes she was in?
Let's go 2.
3.
Ooh, 3. They're really gonna use that specific moment in time again.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna see this scene 3 more times in flashbacks. I mean, 2 more times in flashbacks. She gets the credit for 3 episodes, even though she's just doing this one scene.
Hey, she's in the union, man.
Yeah, got that SAG card.
Got the lines. But yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like the flashbacks themselves are a little underwhelming. Like nothing great happens in them, but they drive the story.
Yeah, and it is kind of more about that emotional beat, like the emotion of Jack, you know, claiming his father's body and kind of like breaking down a little bit in the
Yeah.
ticket agent. But do you know what I was like just thinking about?
Hmm.
I honestly don't know what I would do if someone came up with like, I need to get this coffin on the plane. I'd be like, what?
Hey, she stood her ground. She's like, "Fuck out of here with that shit. We're not doing that. You need the right paperwork."
I guess I would just like, that might not be me. That might be, my
it
boss. Because
it
if
escalated.
like, yeah, if someone came up to me and was like, I gotta get this coffin on the plane, I would just go get my boss and be like, yeah, the dude wants to bring a coffin on the plane. You're gonna have to deal with that. I don't fucking know. I wasn't trained for deceased remains in the transport thereof.
Which I kind of set off alarms for me. Like, can you ship a coffin on a plane like that?
I guess it.
Seems
I guess it's easier if it's empty, but
yeah, that makes sense.
a coffin isn't 100% the problem. It's fucking big too. Like
Yeah. Well, that's
I
also
don't
I was
know if
like that shit's heavy and big. So
I don't know if our TSA I don't know
you
if we
got
could even
you gotta like Paul Bear the coffin into the plane.
but how do we properly TSA it's not like a luggage is gonna luggage fits through the little scanning thing and they give it the all clear, but big coffin
Well,
isn't gonna fit through the scanner thing.
I don't know.
I guess they gotta search it. They gotta open the coffin up and grope Jack's dead father to make sure there's no bombs on him or something.
Finally, that's what I've been waiting for. A dead body's coming my way.
Maybe Jack's a terrorist trying to sneak in a bomb and inside that coffin.
He's like, I
This guy's
really, really need to bury this bomb. I mean, my father. But yeah, so
Then you get a great scene towards the end where Jack does find the coffin and his dad's not there.
yes.
He just starts fucking destroying it because he can't handle it.
Which I mean, what's it saying at that point? Like, well, maybe it'll go back and tell us. But like, I would say, like, did they? I don't think they lied to him and like said, yeah, we'll put it on there for you. No, we're not going to. Did he just kind of like give up and like, fine, I'll take the coffin instead?
No.
or, did,
Here's
or is his dad really walking around the jungle?
here's all I'll say. There was a body in that coffin when the plane took off. They didn't keep the body and load an empty coffin. This guy's staying here.
Fucking American. We'll load your coffin for you. But we're keeping your dad.
So it's another recurring thing for Jack, which will happen a couple of moments. Is Jack is not good at dealing with getting his mind blown.
Well, he's a
Because
man of science.
that was something he can't. His father not being there was kind of something he couldn't really process. Like, oh my fucking god, what is going on? Why is
That's
this?
And there's another Charlie and Hurley moment where they're asking Jack questions like, "Oh, we need to do this, and we need to do this," and Jack's like, "I'm not gonna make decisions, all right? I'm not doing that." And they're like, well, "Why not?" And like they're essentially just saying like, "But you're Jack. That's what you do. We've known you for a couple days. You're the
They're
man."
like,
And
maybe
Jack's like, "Son of a fucking bitch, just leave me alone."
maybe the dog can find water. Dogs can find bombs. They can't find water. Like,
Yeah, I'm not making the decision. It's like, why not? It's like it's not in there, but like I could. The dialogue really just needed to be like, why not? You're Jack. That's what you do.
you're Jack. You're the main character.
Jack's just like, leave me alone.
Like, apparently, they're just like a duo now.
Yeah, they've settled
Hurley
into
and
that.
Charlie.
Hurley just professes his love for Claire every opportunity he gets. He just don't want. I love when he finds out Boone stole the water. He just like immediately goes into like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, Boone. Messing with my mowing. That's my pregnant lady over there. You're keeping water from her."
Isn't this like the first time too that Charlie and Claire have interacted? Really?
No, they've been talking.
They have?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been talking enough where it's also kind of giving you the idea that they're talking a lot off screen too,
Mm.
or
Yeah.
somewhat. But anyway, I think that's gonna end our episode there.
We got anything else to talk about?
Um, there probably is, but sometimes it's best to think about: is it more important to leave things unsaid? You know, is it? It's about what you leave out instead of what you put in. So I think the episode is, I think it's good. I think that's good. Good ending for the podcast.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose so. Uh, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Oh, wait, we gotta rate this.
Oh yeah.
We gotta rate this out of 10 because we still haven't figured out a better rating system yet.
Well, like I said, it's the end of this episode, so I'm gonna go 7.5.
7 point. Oh, hold on. No. 7 point. Oh my god, I hate my phone. 7.5 save. Uh, I'm gonna go 7.9.
Okay. Not quite reaching that 8.
I do think it was a little better than Kate's episode.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. What did I give Kate's
Which
episode?
well, you gave Kate's episode an 8.
An 8.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's a 7.5. This is a 7.8.
Okay.
Still
We're
devising
changing
that method for rating, but we'll figure something out.
7.5 plane crashes out of 10.
All right.
Okay. Well, now, thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you next time.